Ordinance to amend Chapter 25 of the City of Memphis Code of Ordinances governing the city pension system to provide a 2016 cash balance plan and a 2016 defined contribution plan up for third and final reading. New hires only. Ordinance number 5573.
All right, this originally was the ordinance sponsored by Mr. Lowry, which was amended by Ms. Halbert's motion, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Wade about the status.
All right, there were actually two ordinances. One was 40, let me see what it is, 29 and 30. They were 42 and 43 in our past agenda. Before, there were two ordinances, and one of them established what was the 10-year hybrid plan, and the other made the amendments to provide a 2016 cash balance plan and a defined contribution plan, and required for transfers and all these various things. Item number 30 had the caption which reads, Ordinance to amend Chapter 25 of the City of Memphis Code of Ordinances governing the city pension system to provide a 2016 cash balance plan and a 2016 defined contribution plan. Councilwoman Halbert moved to amend that plan to provide a 2016 cash balance plan and a 2016 defined contribution plan, parentheses, hybrid plan, grandfathering employees with 7.5 years of service without seed money, and non-grandfathered employees get the A+B scenario. Specifically, amend the language in section 25-211 to include transferred participants with less than 7.5 years of service and those hired January 1, 2016. That motion was seconded by Conrad, and it was approved by a vote of 8-5. So after that amendment was approved, the question was, there was some hesitancy on voting for the ordinance as amended because we did not have the full details of Ms. Halbert's proposed amendment, and therefore, without objection, the final vote on the ordinance as amended was delayed until today, with the caveat that it would be presented in executive session, or I believe in personnel this morning. And the full details of the ordinance were circulated to all council members. There were some financial comparisons and analysis. There were summaries. All of those items were presented to you, and I understand that the committee voted to recommend that that is, in fact, the amended version that is before you tonight. So what you are being presented with tonight and what your action is tonight is to vote on the ordinance as amended, and that is what's before you now.
Ms. Halbert.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think for the record, if we could have the finance director, I think it would be appropriate for him to put on the record the details that were discussed this morning. Everyone wasn't there.
You want that before the cards or after?
I think they need to hear it before.
Okay.
Because it.
Mr. Chairman, if I may interrupt you.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I think it might be appropriate at this time for Ms. Halbert to move the ordinance as amended and get a second to get it on the floor, and then you can have all the debate and discussion that you want.
Okay. All right, Ms. Halbert. All right, Ms. Halbert is so moved as amended. We need a second. Been seconded by me. All right, Director Collins. Is he here? Director Collins. Mr. Harris, point of order.
Just one quick question. So We don't need to do item 29, because and maybe I'm looking at an old agenda.
But I believe we'll have to do 29, but we're going to do 30 first.
Okay. And 30 is where the meat is.
Yes.
29 is just ancillary.
Well, that's going to be, could you explain that?
I was
What's 29?
address
What's
that.
going on with 29?
Okay, what happened was because Ms. Halbert's amendment actually had tangentially touched both of them. What was done was 30 was amended to incorporate what's in 29. So 30 is the complete, absolute, everything kitchen sink ordinance. The other one will probably be dropped because it's not necessary.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wade. Thank you, Mr. Chair. It depends on how that goes, but generally, yeah.
All right, is Director Collins coming? Oh, okay. Director, just to bring you up to speed, we're getting on the pension ordinance. It's been moved as amended by Ms. Halbert, and Mr. Wade's given a brief overview. Ms. Halbert asked that you give a brief financial overview, and then we'll go to the cards, and then the public to speak, and then the council. Mr. Collins, do you know how long you'll need?
To give a financial overview, it'll just be a minute or two.
All right, I'll give you 5 minutes.
Okay. I sent out an email to all the members of council last Friday evening, and hopefully you've all seen that. And in that document, there were various columns, and starting on the far left, you had the next 30 years, and the first column was the projected arc under.
Ms. Halbert's got a point of order.
No, not the details of the finances, the benefits, the final analysis of the benefits that you reviewed this morning in committee.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, the benefit as, okay. Sorry, I was out in the hallway, didn't appreciate all that was going on. Okay, the Councilwoman Halbert's amendment seeks to do the following. It will preserve for all employees, if you're with the city on the date that the change is made, if you're with the city for 7.5 years or less, your benefit is the number of years of service times 2.5% times your salary as of that date. So we've been through numerous examples of that. I think I gave one to you a couple of weeks ago. For instance, if you were with the city for 4 years, times 2.5%, that would be 10%. If you were making $50,000, that would be $5,000. That would be your annual benefit. Now that annual benefit is then preserved, and you think of that as being set aside, and then the next day you start participating in the hybrid plan. Now the hybrid plan, as you know, has two pieces. There's the market-based cash balance plan and a 401A plan. So starting in that case with that individual who's been with the city 5 years, at 5 years in a day, they would start accumulating money that's put in by the city. On the market-based cash balance side, the city puts in beginning from 3% as high as 16%, depending on how many years you are with the city. And the employee puts in 2%. On the other side, in the 401A, the employee puts in 6% and the city puts in 1.5% for a total of 7%. So during the course of the rest of that employee's career with the city, let's say that she was here for 5 years and then stayed for another 25 years, or a total of 30. During the next 25 years, the money that's contributed into the market-based cash balance plan and the 401A plan would accumulate.